join me fireside in the Goldshire Inn, as it has been 2 long weeks since Drama Time was in your face, because why? There was a Shadowlands, and then there was more Shadowlands, and then there was a Torghast, and then there was even more Shadowlands are all over your face. Streams running ludicrous hours, 2 streams a day some days, videos pouring out of the PG team. Everybody working their balls off to provide you with as much good, solid info as we possibly can. We have brought in specialists, as far as I'm concerned, with far more knowledge about certain things than I have, all chipping their 2 cents in. And the result? Meteoric. Absolutely meteoric. 6 million views on YouTube this month, 8,000 subscribers on Twitch, and a very tired Preach Gaming team. A very, very tired Preach Gaming team. Working till the schedule means nothing anymore. It means nothing. The clock just is irrelevant at this stage. But we will do what we can do, because we've also got to build a brand new office. And I realised, because many of you wanted to see a stream of the brand new office construction, no doubt so you can mock my cable management, my construction choices, all kinds of issues like that. It has begun, and we're going to hopefully get that up and running this evening. I realised that one of the things I needed to do was redo all the Ethernet in the room, which meant unplugging the internet. So I couldn't actually stream that. But I can tell you, I got started today. I have the rough hands of a man. Feeling very, very manly right now. I'm very butch. I would love to throw some questions to our Drama Time audience, because I haven't been with you for a while. Which faction are you picking? Which faction are you picking? And if it's not Venthia, you are just incorrect. Somebody's ringing bells outside my house. It's not the Night Fae. You can't go Team Finn. It's got to be Venthia. It has to be. If you're a DK, you've got to be Venthia. My God. So, so good. Revendreth, genuinely one of the best zones, if not the best zones I've ever played in World of Warcraft. Based seemingly entirely on Bloodborne. That's my jam. And vampires. Vampires and Bloodborne. Absolutely my jam. It's been an extraordinary week. I want to get a video out for tonight on that, assuming our office build goes well. We're going to have RGB lighting set up in here later this evening, maybe? I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But that's not why you're here today. Okay, let's have a couple of drama stories, as you guys have missed out on it, and let's have some fun. AOL killed my guild. Does anybody remember AOL? AOL killed my guild. Good old AOL. Oh my God. Beautiful. Beautiful. You remember AOL? Yeah, so do I. I am boomer enough to remember. And we need one name. Let's go to our lovely Patreons, which there are so many more. Thank you very much. The team will be growing based on this to get as much stuff out. We are very much positioned to be the ultimate WoW channel. Yeah. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? All right. Okay. Here we go. Hi, Preacher. My name is a mystery. I don't particularly care if my game name is used. I care. Anonymity is a big part of Drama Time. A big, big part. And you might think you're carefree and fancy-free and all those kinds of things, but trust me, when the reveal comes out, people... You wouldn't believe who listens to the show. Your name will be out there. But this story is a decade old. This is the time my guild made it to the front page of the prestigious AOL News. AOL News. Regrettably, with the inevitable collapse of AOL over the years, the page is lost to the annals, and the WoW general forums where this began no longer exist. But believe me, this all happened. Our tale begins on a server in 2005. My guild was hardcore! 40 man 5 nights a week. So you were shit then. 5 nights a week for classic raiding. Hardcore, Okay. Okay, sure. Sure. Perfect for the no job, no school, pre-college slobs that we were. I was at the time one of those. But we weren't all in those heady, wild days. I certainly was. I was a Nelf holy priest, a dedicated healer who secretly hated dwarves for their OP fear ward bullshit. I mean, how was it fair? And I refused to level one of those ugly, stumpy bastards. I was also the assistant healer leader. Our guild was progressing well through Molten... You're raiding Molten Core 5 days a week? Okay. We had downed Ragnaros. We had downed Ragnaros. And we're getting stuff on farm. Yes. When we received an application via our forums. Fairly standard stuff. I don't recall this class, but we shall call him Chance. Chance was friendly by text chat in our communications. I was helping with recruitment at the time. We went over our guild policies, set a date for his trial run. All was well. But there was a rub. A little problem, ladies and gentlemen. A little problem. He had an issue with the rules. Something he said he could not do under any circumstances. Any guesses? What can our friend Chance not do under any circumstances? Under any circumstances. At least he's upfront about it. Oh, so easy. Yeah, so easy. What was it? He could not use voice comms. Chance, you see, was mute by birth, he said. Now, the leaders and I shrugged. This is fine. She could type well enough and none of us cared as long as she could hear us shout instructions. So he said, that's fine. Just listen in. Raid night came, we all logged in, started our run. We downed some bosses, and Chance is doing just fine. Then the bell tolled at Gar. We hated Gar as a guild. We all hated Gar. Why? We did our strategy. We assigned roles and asked in comms, alright everybody, please type which mark you are kiting so we're all ready. Everyone responded. Except for Chance. Chance, as we suddenly noticed, was not in comms. Chance had never logged into comms. To the guild chat we go. Chance, comms? No reply. We asked again. No reply. Finally, we demanded that Chance log in. No. Why? I shouldn't have to. I'm a mute. But you can listen, right? And you need to hear instructions. That's unfair. That's unfair. I mean, it's not that unfair. You just need to be able to listen. Look, you can't be in the guild if you're just not even going to be in comms at all. It's a rule. It's okay you don't talk, but you really do need to listen to calls. Chance left the raid and logged off. 2 days passed. Honestly, we thought nothing of it. A trial flaked. Big fucking surprise to anybody who's run a guild for something silly. Oh well. But then the whispers started. The pink started to arrive amongst our GM, our raid leader, and even to me. Then it happened. A forum post. Our server was still a small server back then. The community on the Alliance side was pretty tight-knit. And our guild had a rock-solid reputation. We were decent guys. Great to bring to pugs. Good to get people in. Always fair. That guild is full of bigots! Was the opening of the forum post. Chance, you see, was mad. And as he declared in his forum post, he had been removed from the guild for being a mute. He said that we hated mutes, that we were all bigots, awful people. Basically, he extended it to us killing puppies and defiling babies and probably shot JFK. No one gave a shit, as you can probably imagine. People knew our guild. People knew the people in it. So we just were like, all right, whatever. We made some half-assed posts saying no, pretty much. And then just let it be, right? We just let it be. But then the GM got a whisper. Someone saying they were a reporter from a game journalism website. Okay. On a level 1 human mage. This person asked him about the forum post, about the guild. Are we full of bigots and racists and homophobes? He thought it was obviously a meme. He answered a few questions, made some jokes, defended our honor from Chance's spurious lies. Maybe he went a bit too far. 24 hours later, 24 hours later, we log in to a flood of the pink. The big pink. Whispers. Dozens. Hundreds. Everybody who logged in started to get spammed in the pink. A barrage of whispers. What the fuck was going on? And there was this website, you see. A company called America Online. AOL, it seems, was trying to break into gamer news for those big clicks. They had a gaming news portal right on their main news page. And what was the article that day? World of Hatecraft. It told of the players in World of Warcraft and the groups of guilds that were removing people from their teams for being disabled. How awful the communities were on these realms. How terrible they were. And how children needed to be protected from the guilds in World of Warcraft. Now, we were anonymous in the wording. We're anonymous in the wording. But the dumb bastard posted the screenshots of the conversations with character names. Smart. Big journalism going on. Big journalism going on. Everything we need to know right there. It had guild chat, character names. Even one of them had the guild roster in it as they were checking how many people were in these guilds. And so it went. The trolling, unimaginable. No one could log in without endless harassment from level 1s. Even people who were into defending differently abled people started joining guilds on our server to spam us and protest our raiding. People were buying game time just to spam us. Our whole guild had to go on a break to let things quiet down. We lost a huge amount of players. Then I got a phone call. On my home phone. In my parents' house. They asked me by name. It was a reporter from AOL, no less. Looking for different sides of the story. I hung the fuck up. Logged into the guild. A G quit. I re-rolled over to the Horde on a rogue and never looked back. My guild died. Almost a decade later, I reconnected with my old GM. We play some Modern Warfare now. He absolutely fucking detests World of Warcraft. I still don't know if he ever got a phone call himself. I don't know how the reporter even got my name, much less my phone number. I never again used any names connected to that original priest back then. I still have them, quietly tucked away in my character list, never to be deleted, but there they are. That's my tale. I love the show since I found it. Enjoy. And now Alliance Warlock. Fraudulent? No, I think that's pretty good. I think they would do that. I have no issue thinking that AOL, looking for clicks, would absolutely go to those lengths. Absolutely no doubts in my mind. No doubts in my mind. All right, let's do this. Yeah, AOL article doesn't exist anymore. The big noob. Not wrong at all. Not wrong at all. Not wrong at all. Right, we need 3 people. Yeah, the big noob. The big noob. We do like our newbie stories here. Okay. Picture Lenny from Mice and Men. You can expect what type of guy this is. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Reno. Lovely name. Biggest little city on the planet. Fred 2, a good friend of mine who I would least expect to ever betray me. Unlucky. Unlucky. Yeah, I wonder. I wonder. I wonder who that could, wonder what's going to happen there. Let me get, where's my name? Let's go with Manimus. Yeah, Manimus. Never betray Manimus. Friend 3, the fat friend that we all have in our friendship group. Fucker. And the raid leader. During my first raid. Okay, so we need a Volden. Perfect. Alright, I'll change that just because people, contribute to Patreon to get these names in. Bit greedy to put myself in. Fennel will do. Fennel. You're the fat friend. Good luck, Fennel. I wish you the best on your eating of ice cream. I'm sure it will be fine. Not fat, fluffy. Love yourself. Holla Preacher Rooney and... Oh, God, is this Wales? Jack, need confirmation. Prynhawn Da. That looks Welsh. Prynhawn space D-A. That's Welsh, right? That's got to be Welsh. Does it mean good afternoon? There's got to be Welsh, he's here. Big Welsh? All right, Big Welsh. All right, we are confirmed Welsh. Prynhawn Da to you and the chat. I write this epic saga of a tale from the greatest nation on earth, where the grass is green and the sheep are pretty. I am, of course, talking about the mighty nation of Cymru, or Wales, to you. After following you and the channel for many years, being a regular of live drama times... Oh, are you here? That's too many Welsh people in the chat. That's at least 2, maybe 3. Yuck. Go over there. You stand over there. You stand over there away from me. Hello to you and future me. And having the honour to finally get a chance to meet you at the last 2 PreachCons. Oh, wait a minute. Who is this? Checking. Alright, the real name... Oh, I know who it is. Okay. I know who it is. I decided to unleash my tale to you and this great audience. This particular story, wink wink, starts at the end of the Burning Crusade and spans across the duration of Blizzard's greatest expansion, Wrath of the Lich King. Boo! Boo! FYI, piss on you, Blizzard, for making the Lich King look like a little bitch in Shadowlands trailer. To be fair, it was Bolvar, though, right? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It was Bolvar. A Bolvar's kind of a, Yeah, you know. And Sylvanas is so fucking hot, so... Within this tale contains love, betrayal, vengeance, and a lot, and I mean a huge amount, of stupidity. In fact, to give you an idea of the level of stupidity you will witness during this story, prior to playing the game, let me set up my personality for you. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah, it's going. The sun is shining so brightly here. I've got a lovely red color on this camera. All right. These are the examples of the things I did. Incident number 1. The time I forgot how gravity and geometry worked after accidentally crushing my neighbor's shed, clothesline, and a part of their fence. This happened after I chopped down a tree which landed on them. You don't know... That's so fucking stupid. That's so stupid. You know, you can put a string around it. I chopped a tree down recently. You just put a string around it and have someone pull it while it's tipping to make sure it goes in a specific way. It's very easy. Before the... Oh, side note, before the chat starts ripping into me, know this. All right, here comes the defense. You guys can be judge and jury. I was only 9 at the time. It can't be a big tree. And had to do it due to coming last in a Beyblade tournament. Me and my... This is so nerdy. I came last in a Beyblade tournament me and my friends were playing. It was agreed that the loser would have to cut down the tree in order to make room for our den's decking area. Secondly, before the chat starts thinking of some crazy ideas... No, the neighbours didn't have any pets, and yes, I knew the neighbours weren't there prior to cutting down the tree. It must have been a small tree. You're 9. You don't let a 9-year-old cut a tree down. Jesus Christ. Number 2. Instant number 2. The time the fire brigade had to be called to my house in order to rescue me after I broke the bathroom door fucking about and locked myself inside. Your parents couldn't get through a bathroom door? I would get through that fucking bathroom door, I'm telling you. Additionally, being only 5 or 6 at the time, I remember being hungry and being fed biscuits under the bathroom door while waiting for them to arrive. How long were you in there? They had to put biscuits under the door. And finally, number 3, the time I nearly caused a search party when my mate Reno and I hid from our parents for over 2 hours. You pieces of shit. I would have drop kicked you into next week. Now, you and the members of the chat might be thinking to yourself, why did you do this? Some of you may have begun theory crafting some logical scenarios or reasons why we decided to do this. To which I can safely tell your chat, that would probably make sense, but unfortunately, there is no logic to this situation. Me and Reno were 7 years old and decided to hide from our parents for 2 reasons. The 2 big reasons were, number 1, I didn't want to leave Reno's house because we were about to 100% Guitar Hero on the PS3. You fucking a-holes. You absolute a-holes. Reason number 2. I didn't want to leave Reno's house since I knew when I got home I would have to have a bath. I hate baths. I fucking killed you. I absolutely killed you. God damn it. Long story short. Welsh confirmed. Yeah, I agree. Welsh confirmed. Long story short, just before the police were about to be called in, one of our neighbours found us in our sick-ass hiding spot. We were found after Reno's guitar made a very loud noise after it ran out of battery. Yes, while hiding from our parents and pretty much the whole street at that point, we were still playing Guitar Hero from our hiding spot, which was up in a tree in Reno's back garden where we could still see the TV. So, now you know what kind of person I was. You should probably have your facepalm hands at the ready. I think we're way past that. Nevertheless, pull up a bench, drop your cocks, grab your socks. Something which Mike knows too well of. I do. For the shit show you're about to endure. Okay, here we go. That's the warm-up. We've just pre-gamed. All right, you good? We've just pre-gamed. The origins of the origins. My WoW newbie tale starts off when I was 12 years old. At the time, I considered myself, and I quote what I told my friends, a bit of a beast. I wonder what that sounds like coming from a 12-year-old. Yeah, we've got Big Son in the UK. No one's allowed out, though. Good times, man. When it came time to play video games or competitive games in general, whether it was Call of Duty 1, FIFA, Tekken, or rugby... You had that FIFA rugby game, didn't you? EA Sports Rugby. It's for losers. I would completely decimate and own my friends at them. I was unstoppable. In fact, I once considered myself an absolute god at the original Crash Bandicoot, after I was able to complete the game on hard mode. Ooh, Crash Bandicoot hard mode. Shit, dude. Oh my god. Imagine. That's big. Mythic Crash Bandicoot is extreme. Shortly after completing this astonishing feat, I rang Reno to boast about that sweet accomplishment, expecting him to be so jealous about what I had done. He simply said, "Shut the fuck up, you're gay. Play God. Play COD." It does sound like a 12-year-old conversation. You gay. Play COD. Anyway, one day, me, Reno, oh my god, the green screen is collapsing under its own weight. More light. Yeah, easy fix. One day, Reno, Manimus, and Fennel were walking home from school. Shooting the shit, you know, the standard, when suddenly Fennel piped up about a brand new game. His opening selling point about the game made all my hormones go into full-on stiffy. This feeling was mutual amongst Reno and Manimus. He explained how in this game you could create and pave out your own playable version of Lord of the fucking Rings, where you could encounter demons, goblins, dwarves, minotaurs within cities and dungeons that vary in location, some in the mountain and some in outer space. After he had finished explaining, I simply asked him, and the name of this game. After a brief pause where I could feel the anticipation building up inside me and in my balls, he spilled the beans of World of Warcraft. Hearing the name intrigued my curiosity of the game even more. How many worlds and areas exist? Could I be a general in this game? Could I lead my loyal followers and troops into victory in countless battles just as I had done in Crash Bandicoot? And if I did, would I be rewarded handsomely for my efforts? Would I be given a castle, a knighthood, or even my own lord's chamber? That's what you're after? A lord's chamber? That's the big reward. I hope I get a lord's chamber. It's going to be sick, you know? I'm going to have a throne in there, a rug. It's going to be so good. Curtains, maybe. However, my excitement for the game was about to take an arrow to the knee and be shattered. Shortly before asking him, do I get it on PS3? Or is it Xbox exclusive? Aww. Ah, come here. Come to someone called Mike. Let's explain to you. You're a noob. That's okay. All right? It's going to be all right. We're going to get through this. All right? What you need is a Dell Inspiron. Yeah? Dell Inspiron. Can you say it with me? Dell Inspiron. It's going to have its own matching monitor and keyboard. It's going to be so good. It's going to run like a dream. Run like a dream. Knowing what you already know. And Fennel turned to me and said, neither, you pleb. It's a PC game. I felt a cold, dark shiver go down my spine since I didn't even own a PC. Not even a family PC. To make matters worse, out of all my friends, I was the only one that didn't have some form of computer. So if Fennel was successfully able to convert the others to the dark side, I would be unable to play COD with my friends. Strategy then. I went on the defensive. I started shit-talking WoW. I started to downplay how awesome the game sounded. I went on about how it sounded like it was for losers and fairies because it had goats in it and elf people. And why would you want to play a game where you have to fight those kind of fairies and shit? Why wouldn't you shoot people in the face with a machine gun instead? While my efforts were valiant. The four of us went over to Fennel's house, where he logged into his shaman. It was like watching Jesus. It walked across water. The three of us watched in awe. Fennel slaying countless demons and infernals. He rode across the plains of Hellfire Peninsula. We finally lost our minds when we saw him cast Thunderstorm and knock a player off the cliff. I remember thinking, fuck, this game looks good. God damn it. It was as if he possessed the powers of Thor himself. Seeing the endless possibilities that awaited me in the game, I had to have it. Those were the days. They were, I think, an Ellie Shaman, if you had a complete noob, right? This is the side of the story. If you had a complete noob, and you wanted to show them World of Warcraft, and you wanted them to go home, log online, and buy a brand new PC to play a fucking game, an Ellie Shaman's a good way of going about it. It is. You show a noob Chain Lightning. You show a noob. Oh, Army of the Dead's good too. But you show a noob Chain Lightning, I think you could have a pretty good time with that. I think you could have a pretty good time with that. As expected, or what I would have done if I was able to, 2 days later, Reno and Manimus bought and downloaded the game. I logged into Call of Duty. No friends online. I logged into FIFA. No friends online. I just sat there in my room knowing that the three of them were having the time of their lives in World of Warcraft. I got genuinely upset. What was worse, for the next 2 weeks, They only fucking talked about World of Warcraft in school, outside of school. I was becoming infuriated. Every other word out of their mouth was Tor and Darnassus or some nonsense. What made it even worse, though, to pile on the cherry on top of it, as angry as I was, it was really cool to hear about World of Warcraft. Everything they talked about sounded fucking awesome. And it made me hate them even more. I was hearing epic tales of what Reno and Manimus were doing together as newbies. How Reno was describing himself as the next Legolas. Yes, his first character was an elf hunter. While Manimus had rolled a rogue and described how he had mastered the shadows and could slip in and out of the Shadowlands at ease. Hearing how cool and awesome Reno and Manimus characters were in game, I wanted to fucking stab them. The final nail in the coffin. When what was planned as me and my friends going to Crossfire, an internet gaming cafe which we would go to every Saturday evening in order to play 2v2 Command and Conquer. When we got there that Saturday evening, I started loading up Command and Conquer. And when I checked my friend's screen, all three of them was loading up World of Warcraft. They were going to quest together instead. To be fair, that's a really shitty thing of them guys to do, by the way. That's a really shitty thing of them to do. Oh my god! Pork Pies recognises the Crossfire Internet Cafe in Swansea. Nailed it! Swansea? Is that Swansea? He recognises Crossfire Internet Cafe. Crossfire, where the gaming goes on. Think it's closed? Probably. This is an old one. Okay. What did I do that Saturday night, you might ask? I sat and watched all my friends play World of Warcraft. And then I just went and played this standalone player campaign of Command & Conquer. I watched as Reno and Manimus embarked on what they were calling The Run, which involved the two of them trying to make their way to Stormwind from Darnassus for the first time. I was blown away when seeing them traverse the open plains of the wetlands. Ew. Slowly, of course, because they kept getting killed by the mobs in the zone. They decided to do it while they were about level 8. Additionally, watching them scale the wintry mountains of Dunmorrow, seeing the entrance to Ironforge, I could have cried. Watching them enter the Dwarven district after they took the tube was the last straw. Seeing what World of Warcraft was. Seeing what awaited within the game. I had to have it. I have no computer. I have no money. A plan is needed. The next day, I went straight for the Hail Mary desperation play. Mom! Please, Mom! Buy me a PC! Despite being 12 years old, even I knew the chances of her saying yes was slim, but you never know. You never know. As expected, she told me to go fuck it. Meaning that Plan A, being the streamlined, fast approach to playing WoW, was a no-go. More so, even though I had already anticipated that what she was about to say, she said, if I really do want a PC, it would have to be at Christmas. Now, you might be thinking to yourselves, it's not ideal, but it's on the cards. It's on the cards. There's a chance. But not really. It was February. Upon hearing that, I didn't cry or bitch, since I knew that it wouldn't help the situation for an outcome I ultimately expected. With Plan A in the toilet, we're on to Plan B. After agreeing with her verdict about the PC, I asked her if she could instead buy me a new PlayStation 3 game when she went to Tesco. She said yes. This would, of course, be cheaper than buying a new computer, so she thought she was getting a good deal. Asked what the name of the game for the PS3 I wanted. World of Warcraft, I replied. To my surprise, that same evening, she kept her promise. She bought me the game with the Burning Crusade expansion, as the clerk told her I would need it. I was both stunned and confused as to why she had brought home 2 games. She said she didn't mind the price increase because she was a bit sad that she couldn't get me a PC. You piece of shit. You piece of absolute monkey crap. Your mum went out and bought you a game with additional stuff because she was guilty about being unable to afford a fucking computer. You total bastard. You absolute animal, man. You animal. Oh, no. She said this should make me feel better and tide me over until Christmas. Fucking hate kids. Nevertheless, I didn't complain. And you were going to complain? You think you had room to complain? Do you? Do you think you had room to complain? I thanked her for what she had done so far. In my mind, so far, so good. Plan B was working as intended. Really. The following day in school, I met up with Reno, Manimus, and Fennel to explain how I was finally a proud owner of World of Warcraft. They didn't believe me at first and began quizzing me about the game. They asked me questions such as, what races were fighting the dragon in the cover art? Is it the dwarf with the gun? It was the gun dwarf, right? And how many people are fighting the dragon? 1? A demon hunter elf? No way. I do not own World of Warcraft. I've been exposed once again. I do not own World of Warcraft. Not prepared, I still passed the quiz with flying covers. This was primarily due to me extensively staring at a game case for hours the night before. After I passed their quiz, my friends congratulated me before the 4 of us began nerding the fuck out about the game. Are you going to pretend you're playing the game? So you can be part of the conversation. Passing back and forth the wild ideas and endless opportunities we could have together, and wow. Reno would go on to mention that how one of our other mates from his farm was considering buying the game as well. Meaning, if you do the maths, if you go to the lab and punch the numbers in, we would have a complete 5-man group. You don't have a computer! You've now got a 5-man MDI team? You don't own a PC? What the fuck? Oh my god. We would be the best 5-man for dungeons, arenas, and BGs. All the fun we would have. We continued with this conversation for the entire school day. And whilst walking home, Fennel, the pro that he was, said, if we're going to have a preset party for dungeons in game, one of us is going to need to tank. You didn't offer to fucking tank. Oh my god, you deserve so many slaps. Upon hearing that, I instantly said something incredibly dumb. I wanted to be a bro for my team. So I said, yeah, I don't mind being the tank. And would I be able to make it faster if it was a dwarf tank? Yes, Mike, I genuinely thought he was asking if someone would gather and collect the resources needed. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, no. I genuinely thought he was asking me if someone would gather and farm the resources needed to physically build a tank in-game. Top bro you are. Fucking hell. At least he kind of knows what dwarves are about, right? I mean, he's got that Tolkien sense about him, you know? I thought it was possible after seeing the tanks sitting outside of Ironforge. Oh, he has seen tanks in-game. To be fair, he has seen actual tanks. While I was watching Reno and Manimus do the run before. After my ramble of absolute nonsense, Fennel looked at me in disgust before facepalming and saying, you're dumb as fuck. Of course, my friends burst into laughter soon after whilst I stood there looking like a bit of a twat. But looking past the fail, it was still agreed that I was to become the group's tank. However, it was Reno who realised one small problem to this idea, which I'm sure you in the chat have worked out by now. The small problem was brought by Reno to the group, and he proposed the question. Hang on a minute. I thought you don't even have a PC. Where are you going to play? They paused and looked at me before I outlined the amazing, absolutely spectacular Plan B. This is how I was going to play World of Warcraft. Plan B is, me and my friends are only allowed to play once a week on a Saturday at Crossfire for the next 10 months until I get a PC at Christmas. I mean, okay. I gotta ixnay that deal, dude. Now, I know it sounds like a horrible plan, both from an enjoyment and financial point of view, but I didn't care. I didn't want to be a bystander anymore, so I was willing to do what was necessary in order to play the game from this point on. So following the plan, I waited in anticipation throughout the week until finally the day arrived. It was Saturday. And after me and the lads had finished our footy match in the morning, I remember I scored a crisp finesse on the day. The fuck is a finesse? Is that soccer talk? We headed to the place to be. Saturday afternoon and evening, Crossfire it is. Can I get a picture of this place? Now I know it might be in Swansea. Crossfire, Swansea. Internet Cafe, Swansea. Oh, bruh. Oh, look at this. Turbo poggers. Is that a tree? Why is there a tree in there? Or is it supposed to be camo? Are you supposed to be in a forest near a castle? Is that you? Permanently closed. They had a games network. That's true. Oh, you can't see it, can you? Sorry. I'm an idiot. There you go. Look, they had a games network. A real one. And I'm pretty sure that's our author. Oh, look at their monitors. They're actually fucking turbo. Look at the... They had speakers in an internet cafe? Who has speakers in an internet cafe? Look, it's like a tree. Look at that. There's like trees inside. Why is there trees inside? Why are people speaking? Remember speakers? He was like 12. The shop isn't 12 years old. Right? You think... Oh, that place is lit? It's not. That monitor is... That's an iPhone. Look at the keyboard. Right. Put your keyboard next to your monitor. And scale it. Right? Use your keyboard for scale. Not a fan. But rest in peace anyway. Apparently. 2004 to 2014. It's over. It's over for Crossfire. It's all over. We headed to the place to be in town on a Saturday afternoon and evening. Crossfire. At last, after having to put up with not being able to play the game for so long, I was finally staring at that character. He hasn't even got a character yet. For my very own World of Warcraft account. The time had come. Throughout that week, I theory crafted potential names for my character, as well as potential classes I would play. But when I saw that create character screen for the first time, I froze and started to panic. There were so many customization options for each of the races. It threw all of my ideas out the window. My 12-year-old brain couldn't handle the amount of choice I had. Furthermore, due to knowing that I only had a certain amount of time to play the game, despite paying for 7 hours of game time in Crossfire, this made me panic even more. I was wasting my precious game time. I had to play. For a solid 10 minutes, I kept going back and forth between the friends, asking for their opinion on names I was considering for my character. At first, they gave me some good constructive criticism about the names I was considering. That sounds gay. That name is gay. Why are you trying to sound like a gay lord? You got to admire, in many ways, the vast dialect of the 12-year-olds, all right? It's really quite an extraordinary vocabulary. It really is. But they started to get pissed off with me asking them repeatedly. This was topped when my boy Fennel turned to me and said, "Will you shut the fuck up? I'm trying to play." Without the aid of my friends and time being of the essence, I panicked and created my character with the first name that popped into my head. Therefore, me and my 12-year-old mind created the following as my first World of Warcraft character. Billy J, the Human Warrior. My first name and the first letter of my surname. Big. Billy J. Shakespearean. Billy J. The reasoning was as follows. The name. The race, I decided to be human because I thought to myself, hey, if I make a human, my starting zone is already in the same location as Stormwind, meaning I could skip the run and level faster. Big brain. The class, I had watched the film 300 the night before, which put the idea in my head that I wanted to create a Spartan to tank for my group. I tried endlessly to make my character look like Leonidas. Hearing my character's chosen name, my friends reacted positively with open arms by calling me a boring cunt. But I didn't care. It's finally World of Warcraft. I'll never forget that first hour I spent in game for too many reasons. The first being how I was overloaded with joy, being able to run and jump around the Abbey while being another member of the mighty Alliance. The second reason being how my friends decided to troll me during that time. I wasn't aware of their intentions at first when the three of them decided to rock up to the Abbey on their mains. I thought they either wanted to help me level or get an understanding of the game, or they wanted to show off their shiny gear and mounts. But nope, they did neither. They opted for option 3. The three of them ran around and killed every single mob that I had a quest for before I could tag it. It's what you get for mithering about your name. Honestly, it's what you deserve. It's what you deserve for not having a PC. You haven't got a PC. It's exactly what you get. It's exactly what you get. Being helpless and unable to stop the madness on my little level 1 warrior, my friends were having the best time. I was getting frustrated. Being the absolute bellends they were when I asked them in anger, "Don't you have something better to do?" Their response was, "Yeah." "How's your leveling going though?" "Oi!" I wasn't amused with their antics at the time, but they did eventually stop and leave me on my merry way. The next couple of hours that ensued involved me exploring the zone and looting whatever I came across to gain every scrap of silver I could find, during which I died so many times. Pulling more than 2 mobs? Crazy. I somehow made it to level 8 and continued on my journey by heading towards Goldshire. Upon arrival, I would get sent on a quest that would forever haunt me. He wants you to guess. Level 8 Goldshire, a quest that would forever haunt him. If your chat hasn't already guessed it by now, I'm of course talking about the quest that involved you having to explore the Fargo Deep Mine. Look, man. I was Alliance. Why do you guys keep dying in the Fargo Deep Mine? It's really not hard. You guys must have been so bad at video games. It's unbelievable. For real. You guys must have been terrible at World of Warcraft. Just universally bad. Universally bad. It's so easy. It's a death trap. It's so not. It really isn't. Seriously, fuck that mine and the kobolds that call it their home. I spent what felt like a lifetime trying to besiege my way into that mine, which was made all the harder due to being a warrior. I was a warrior. As you'd expect, by the time I left that mine, my gear was a lovely crimson colour. Broken physically and mentally in and outside of the game, I returned to Goldshire where I was greeted by my friends once more. I expected round 2 of the trolling. I was tired, frustrated, but I was surprised when they started giving me gold and greens. Hallelujah! I was grateful for the gold they gave. I didn't realise at the time the importance of the gear and how it made your character so much stronger. Therefore, my friends weren't amused when I told them that when they left, I decided to sell that because I liked the look of my original grey armour. Honestly though, the green gear they gave me made me look way less cool. The final act wrapped up my first weekly session of World of Warcraft and would continue to be my experience of the game for the foreseeable future. But I didn't care. I didn't care. Hold on, I've had to change this. He's included some pictures for us. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, I had to rearrange it. But will continue to be my experience of the game for the foreseeable future. But I didn't care. I welcomed the challenge as I tripped and stumbled my way through World of Warcraft. As a result, I was chuffed and relieved that I was able to reach level 23 in the first month of playing. In fact, I probably could have reached level 13 that time if I didn't encounter certain mobs during my travels. Seriously, whichever game developer created the following cunts as a sadistic bastard who mostly likely quenches his thirst for blood. Okay, it makes sense now. Quenches his thirst for blood by hunting down and slaughtering innocent dogs in video games. Does it sound familiar? Thanks for that. How long did it take you to work that into the story, I wonder? Oh, beautiful. Absolutely breathtaking. Thank you all. I wonder how long that took you to work into the story. Uncanny. The story is trolling you. Anyway, screw these 3 mobs. All right, let's see if you guys agree. All right, okay. Screw these 3 mobs. The Defias Pillager, the Nightbane Shadow Weaver, and Murlocs. Okay. Yeah, big true. Big true. All right, big true confirmed. Big true. Big true. Big true. Chapter 4, the illusion to fund my subscription. Oh my god. Fast forward a month and things start to get tricky. My free month is up. This was made worse when I didn't find out about this until I turned up to Crossfire, where I was met with the dreaded message when trying to log in. To ensure I never had to endure that again, when I returned from Crossfire that night, Mum. I had the intention if she would pay for my subscription. Indirectly, you're just going to rob from your mum. You're going to rob from your mum, aren't you? This approach was needed since my mum didn't trust the internet, especially when it came to companies that she had never heard of. This meant asking her to put her credit card details online in order to pay for my subscription would be a big no-no. I also knew she wouldn't give me any more money since I was already spending all of my monthly allowance to go to Crossfire. Knowing all this, I knew it wouldn't be easy. But for Azeroth, I had no choice but to persevere. I had a plan, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, it was quite a simple and elaborate plan. I told my mum that I needed extra money for history books for my lessons, as well as to read for my own enjoyment because I had suddenly found a deep, deep love of history. You fucking bastard. It wasn't too hard to believe, because at the time I was an avid reader, but my parents, knowing that history was my favourite subject, they were going to buy for this. They were going to buy into it big. My plan worked. How could they deny me an education? My mum gave me the money, to which I spent in-game the next day to buy a 30-day WoW time card. Now, some of you might think, won't your mum realise that you're a lying bastard to her since you won't be getting any new books in the house? Wrong! Wrong! This is where my clearly superior to you lot Welsh intellect, big shade, came through in order to maintain the illusion. During this period, I was still bringing home new history books each week. However, rather than paying for them with money my mum gave me, I was renting out new history books each week from the library. How long do you think this lasts? How long do you think this lasted? This big brain play. No. How long do you think he managed to keep this up without his mum going, what the fuck? 6 months, 2 weeks, 4 months. Some of you are not far off. This plan worked for a grand total of 3 months. Until, oh no. One day my younger brother brought home a book from his school library. He was in the same school as me and had rented a book I had previously bought. My mother recognized it and asked why I hadn't given my brother the copy that I had bought. Lost it. Lost it, I said, hoping that would be the end of the discussion. It wasn't, though. She continued pushing, where eventually I had no choice but to spill the beans. The jig was up. My mum was a little bit pissed, to say the least, after finding out that I had been lying to her about the money she had been giving to me. In fact, she was so pissed that she went straight to the clinics and bought a drug testing kit, as she thought I may have been lying to her and using the money for crack and alcohol. You played yourself! You played yourself! You Welsh crackhead! You played your goddamn self! That's how it went down. Played yourself like a damn fiddle. Of course, that wasn't the case, and when the results came back negative, you did have to pee in the cup? Oh my god, she did calm down slightly. After that hour of madness, she asked once again, what are you spending the money on? I replied saying you still didn't tell the truth? I replied by saying I was buying extra drinks and sweets on the way home from school each day. Oh my god, just tell the truth for once in your life. Again, I had lied, but she accepted my reason and sentenced me to hard labour for the next 2 weeks, where I had to spend my weekends in the garden, clearing shit, cutting grass, pulling weeds. Obviously pissed off since I wasn't allowed to go to Crossfire during that time. No complaints though, I accepted my judgment. Particularly since looking back at it, I do agree with what you're all are probably thinking. What I did was both a cuntish and shallow thing to do. Yeah, it was. After serving my time on the yard and regaining sweet, sweet freedom, I was back to square one. I'm still unable to pay for a WoW subscription. Mum is no longer a viable option. I needed to upgrade to the more difficult task. We're going to Dad. I decided that it would be best if history didn't repeat itself. So when it came to Dad... Dude, no! Don't go to Dad! Dude, no. I was going to tell the truth. I told the truth as to why I wanted the money. After asking him, he looked up from his newspaper, where he had 2 simple questions for me. His questions about this video game were as follows. Is it some kind of porno shit? As he had heard about the internet. Son, be honest with me. Is it some kind of porno shit? Because if it is, share the deets, yeah? Login info, me and you. Question 2. Do you need a webcam to play that game? No. I just said we had to run around and kill orcs and fairies and things. He decided he was going to double check and went on the internet when he had the possibility to see what it was all about. After finding out what I was saying was the truth, he gave the okay. He put his details in to pay for my subscription. I assume this is a Welsh word. Diolch. D-I-O-L-C-H. Diolch Dad. Translate, chat. Dad just wanted the truth, right? That's all dads want. Don't mess me about. Don't mess me about. Just tell me what it is. Is it porn? Is it something where someone's going to be seeing you? Alright, we're good. Thanks. Alright. Feeding the addiction. Not having to worry about the WoW sub anymore, I continued with my strategy of playing at Crossfire, of course, on the Saturdays. But after 4 months had passed, I couldn't take it anymore. I admit to you all now, my strategy had some flaws. With WoW being all me and friends would talk about during the last 6 months total, in addition to jumping at every opportunity I could find in order to play, I may have become a little obsessed. Knowing this, I knew only being able to play the game just once a week wasn't enough. You know what it is? I've become obsessed, which means I need to play more. That's what it is. I need to play for. My PC is now 4 months away. Times were getting desperate. Reno and Manimus. They were the guys. At the time, they had both joined a guild together with the intention of becoming hardcore. However, they couldn't be bothered to grind rep, and Mats needed to raid with them. And that's where I came in. Oh no, you're going to be a little bitch, aren't you? The three of us lived in close proximity, and I agreed to come over to their houses every day to do their dailies and farm. For almost a month throughout the week, I would head over to Reno's house to do his dailies for him on his hunter, before I would leave his house and head to Manimus's house and do the dailies for his rogue. Wanker. Bus wanker. If that doesn't sound bad enough, I never sent any of the gold I had made for them to my warrior. I thought them allowing me to play WoW on their PCs was reward enough. However, once I had completed their dailies for them, they would instantly kick me off the computer so they could actually do dungeons and, you know, the fun stuff. I was allowed to sit and watch. Enter Manimus, though, the betrayer. Having been Manimus's junkie, basically, for nearly a month and helping get the necessary requirements needed in order to raid with his guild, I still to this day did not see what he was about to do. This fateful moment landed on a Monday afternoon in school after being in Crossfire the previous Saturday. Me and Manimus, being in the same class, were studying geography, when suddenly I noticed that Manimus was trying to get my attention by coughing a word under his breath. For a while, I couldn't make it out what he was saying today and thought he was choking on a cock or something. So Manimus began coughing louder, to the point of not trying to disguise it as a cough anymore and just shouted in my general direction. Doing this, I now understood what word he was gagging on. He was coughing my WoW account password. Alarmed, frustrated, confused, I asked Manimus, "How do you know that?" Bursting into laughter, he told me that he had found out my details after seeing them inside my WoW CD case. You fucking bellend. Oh my god, you wrote your password on a piece of paper and left it with the game? That was the plan. That's the plan. Where's that Welsh intelligence? Where's that big brain Welsh IQ at? Where is it? Panic ensued, and after finishing that lesson, I went straight to the school library and jumped onto a PC. From there, I logged on, opened the WoW Armory, typed my character name before having my heart consumed. Behind my back, Manimus had done the unthinkable. He had logged my account, ravaged and violated my warrior. He would now reach 52. Naked. Devastated and heartbroken. I'd never expected this level of betrayal from Manimus, especially after finding out that he had taken all the gold which I was saving up to buy an epic mount. When we, along with Reno and Fennel, went to Crossfire the following Saturday, I had no choice. I begged Manimus. No, dude! Oh my god. I begged him to give me the gold he had taken from me. Call the cops. To my surprise, when I logged on to my naked warrior, I found out that Manimus actually hadn't done fuck all. He'd just put it in my bags, just knowing I couldn't log in myself until Saturday. All my gold was in my bank. Oh, no, it wasn't. All my gear was in my bank. However, when it came to the gold, he only traded 2/3 of it back and said he was keeping the remaining third as payment for allowing me to play WoW at his house on his PC. Dude, break his fucking nose! Are you kidding me? What? What? Break his fucking nose? I was stunned with that response, but at the same time, there wasn't much I could do about it. There really is! Like, for real. Do your bros know about this? Your bros are okay with this? I was stunned with that response, but at the same time, nothing I could do. I didn't want to get into a physical confrontation and potentially ruin my friendship over virtual currency. He's okay with it, right? More so because of how I was to get into a fight with him. Me with my superior strength, speed, and Welshness. Oh, piss off. Manimus is originally English. No. You ain't pointing that at us. No. What, the only thief? Yeah, it was the English guy you couldn't trust, right? Okay, sure, bro. Sure, bro. Yeah. No, he was born Welsh. He had a red dragon tattoo on his back when he was born, like Waterworld. BS. I would have been arrested for manslaughter against his feeble English body. Oh, come on, man. Nevertheless, I let it slide while I began planning my vendetta. For the next 3 weeks, I continued to do Manimus. You still did his dailies! Oh! I continued to do Reno and Manimus's dailies for them. During the first week, though, Manimus wouldn't leave my side when doing his dailies. He was worried that I might try and sneak gold off his character. I was tempted and had to fight the urge not to do it. I kept telling myself if I showed on the outside that I had forgiven him, then he would eventually allow things to return to normal. And then, maybe. My plan worked, and after the first week, Manimus couldn't be bothered watching. Now alone with complete access to his account, the world was my oyster. When it came to the possible ways I could get my vengeance on Manimus, I held back on completely stealing all his gold at once. Instead, I decided to recollect my stolen gold over a period of time, whilst maintaining my incognito status with Manimus. During the next 2 weeks after completing his dailies, I would send a tiny little bit of gold to my warrior. This made sure he wouldn't notice after I'd done dailies and whatnot. Day by day, I continued to siphon off this little golden nuggets until eventually I got all my gold back. Once I had it all back, I did one last set of dailies for Manimus before heading over to his mailbox and sending 750 gold from his rogue to my warrior. This is going to end so well, by the way. Oh, this is going to be perfect. After doing this, I left his house and returned to mine. Obviously, didn't take long for Manimus to realise what I had done before he sent me the text. He simply said, "You're a fucking cunt and a dickhead. But well played." That's it. Maybe he is English. A gentleman's accord was struck. You know what? You got me. You got me. He finished the text by saying that he didn't want me doing his dailies for him anymore. Upon hearing what I had done, even though I had no intention of doing it to him, Reno decided it would be best if I stopped doing his dailies as well. I was now considered untrustworthy. I didn't care. At that point, I was bored doing dailies. And with it being November the following week, COD 4 was released, which helped me tie over my lack of PC until Christmas. He was free and clear. He was free and clear. Easy claps. Easy claps from this day forth. In December then. It is finally the moment I've been waiting. Oh God, the PC's coming. It's a Dell Inspiron, it's got to be. The month where a jolly old fat man spreads his sack full of love and joy wide to children across the globe. After having putting up with only being able to play WoW just once a week, I was literally days away from having unrestricted, unprecedented access to World of Warcraft. Or so I thought. 2 weeks before that big day, 14 days, my parents gave me the update regarding my PC. They had come to a decision. The money that they were saving for my PC needed to go to my older sister. She needed a laptop as a greater priority than I needed a PC for games. She was going to university. Buying two was impossible, and the laptop was needed. Hey! The parents made the correct decision. The parents made the correct decision. I was devastated, though. Particularly since how I had been spending my spare time just researching... I had spent my spare time researching potential computers during this build-up. Wondering what I might get, what it might look like, how fast it would be, and how powerful it would be. Yeah, he definitely thought he was getting some Alienware fucking speed thing, right? All the RGB in the world. Fear not, though! Do not bow your heads yet, ladies and gentlemen. As I was about to burst into tears, my parents informed me that there was indeed a backup plan. Now, you might be thinking that my parents were coming in strong with the hard carry in order to satisfy both their children. And the answer to that is, kind of. kind of. They told me that since they were buying a new laptop for my sister, she would pass on her PC to me. There is a PC in the house, but it's the sister's. Now, to say her PC wasn't good would be an understatement. It was actually known for being turbo wank. It was large, loud, very loud, so loud that we could hear it down the corridor when she turned it on. It was as if she had summoned the Balrog to our house. Even when in idle mode, it sounded as if someone was running around the house in a minecart. I didn't take the news well, but I couldn't really argue with them since they were providing a computer. Nevertheless, when the big day arrived and my sister's eyes lit up with joy after unboxing her new laptop, I thanked my parents for making me the proud new owner of Big Bertha. After acquiring that plastic-coated beast, I rushed to set it up before booting it up. I awoke the demon for its slumber once more. And after an hour, I was finally able to create my own username for You took an hour to create a user? After waiting an hour, I was finally able to create my own username for the computer. And shortly after that, roughly 20 minutes, I saw a Windows XP home screen. Upon seeing this, I plopped in that WoW CD from the case. I spat on the end of my fingers before delicately slipping them through that hole. And from there, I pushed the computer's buttons to spread that CD drive wide before placing my seed of knowledge inside. That's disgusting. Prior to starting the download, I'd expected that it would take a while for the game to install, since my home ran on the unquestionably awesome wireless talk internet. You don't have an Ethernet cable? I have 300 meters of Ethernet cable right here. 300 meters. We're going wireless, boys. We're going wireless. When I saw that estimated download time for the first time, I didn't realize that it was possible to take 28 hours to get a game. I tried to resolve the issue by moving the PC closer to the wireless point. Big brain, dragging this mammoth comp around the house. Oh, huge, dude. Absolutely huge maneuver. It didn't help. With no way of having a wired internet connection to the computer, I had no choice but to wait it out. Throughout the day, I left the PC alone for the game to download. I wouldn't dare go on my PS3 in case it throttled the download speed. I tried letting the PC continue downloading overnight while I was asleep, but my mum told me to turn it off since nobody in the house could sleep with the noise it was making. Eventually, though. Time, of course, continues to tick, ladies and gentlemen, and the game installed. I was about to press play button, however, it went grey. Before saying patching WoW game files. Estimated wait time, 5 hours. Oh no! Because of this hiccup after starting the installation since Christmas Day at 7:30 AM, I had waited a grand total of 33 hours, but I was now able to log in. This was it. The shit show of a PC that would become an instrument of my destruction. The instrument that would aid me to reaching level cap before getting onto the real stuff, where I could try out my hands in max level dungeons and raids. And so here it is, ladies and gentlemen, my first time raiding, which was the same day I reached max level. Shortly after receiving my PC, I stopped playing the game. Over the next couple of months, with COD 4 popping, I didn't spend much time on World of Warcraft and focused entirely on poning in COD. I wouldn't return to the game until early July. So he finally got the PC and just didn't play. Classic kid. Those parents were pissed, by the way. You know how stressful it was for them choosing the laptop and everything, and then you didn't fucking play the game? Piece of shit, dude. He never even touches the fucking thing after all that. And then your dad was like, I'm glad we didn't get him that PC, right? Glad we didn't buy him a PC. I wouldn't return until early July with the launch of Wrath of the Lich King on the horizon. I tried power leveling my little warrior to max level with the hopes of being ready for the launch of Wrath. The PC had other ideas. It often either disconnected from the game because of my internet or would completely shut down because the CPU was overheating. It got so bad that I was only able to make real progress by still going back to Crossfire. With this in mind and being a newbie warrior, my leveling process was slow and was only able to reach level 66 the day Wrath launched. During the first week of the launch, I did hope that my friends would wait for me before beginning their journeys in Northrend. Okay. So that we could play Wrath together. No. Not at all. 2 months passed and I had now received upgrades to my PC for Christmas. The noise of the PC had driven my parents to actually investing in it. Thank God to Bertha. You did your duty, Bertha, you loudmouth cow, but you got us there. You got us there, Bertha. You got us there. Around this time, my warrior was around level 77, and my friends had joined a guild and began raiding Naxxramas. I wasn't aware of the location of the raid, so upon finding out for the first time, I thought of all the flying citadels in Northrend were all raids. Wow, a lot of raids. Once I heard that their guild was looking for a tank, and seeing how amazing that raid looked when I watched the lads in Crossfire, I went for it. A week later, I had finally done it. I had reached max level. The spam of GGs and Grazes from Manimus and Fennel and Reno, who were in a Skype call with me at the time before being followed up with a great, now you can come and raid with us. Being ecstatic and not really thinking about what I was saying at the time, I replied, yes, I am ready to rock. Shortly after this conversation, I received an invite to my friend's guild. This was followed by a message in the pink from the guild's raid leader, Volden, where he asked, your friends didn't say, how much Nax have you done so far, mate? Welcome to the guild and all that. How much Nax have you done? I was confused. I asked my friends on Skype, why was Volden asking me these questions? Fennel piped up and said, he's probably asking since I told him that you would be cool to tank for us tonight. Thanks, Fennel. Thanks very much, dude. I began to panic. I really did want to raid, but I didn't know anything. I just capped. I started to melt down. But Fennel told me not to worry. And to say these words. All I had done so far is up to Thaddeus. Just tell him that and you'll be okay. He said it was important. Fennel's chaotic neutral. He said it was important that I not say that I had cleared the raid to stop the guild raising any further questions about my non-existent raiding experience. So I typed to Volden, I have cleared up to Thaddeus. And then I was told to say, this is my new alt. I plan to main it. Volden replied with, okay, just make sure you have food and flasks, okay? See you tonight. I tried to be funny and went, sure thing, boss, before going back to Fennel and asking him, what are flasks? He told me I needed to rock over to the auction house and buy some blues since I was looking like the Green Lantern, so I did. And sure enough, I spent all my gold replacing my gear, changing to tank spec. Note, I didn't have flying by this point. God damn. From there, I spent the remaining time farming the resources needed for flasks and food. I also hopped onto YouTube and began watching tank spot guides with Josh for each of the bosses. Later on, daylight turned to dusk. The invites for the raid began. Going in, I was shitting myself, but always looking forward to what I thought would be the first of many raids with my friends. Summons were going out. Reno and Manimus told me that I should make sure that I have taunt macros. Taunt macros? I was grateful for the advice, but there was a small problem. I didn't know what they meant by taunt macros. So I asked them, what do you mean? At this point, Fennel went into a full-blown rage, telling me how he had to stick his neck on the line in order to get me into this raid. Fuck you, Fennel. Fuck you. Fuck you and fuck your neck. as well as why didn't I do my research? While this was going on, Reno and Manimus were pissing themselves and telling Fennel to take a chill pill and stop acting like a minge. Oh, I haven't heard that in years. Eventually, my summon arrived. I was about to accept. Fennel pulled me over and said that all I needed to do when tanking was spam taunt. I don't like your friend Fennel. I don't like him one little bit. I don't. Not even a tiny, tiny bit. Not even a little bit. Digesting his advice, I said, cool, that sounds easy. I got the summon and boom, I was stood in the raid. This was probably roughly 4 hours after I had actually hit max level for the very first time. In my mind, the raid started off well. I didn't die. I had aggro on one mob at a time during the trash pulls. Meanwhile, as we were steamrolling our way to Anubra Khan and slaying the undead filth in our path, Volden messaged me saying, he's the raid leader, why aren't you using any abilities? Your rage bar is always full. I didn't know what to say. So I turned to my boy and genius, Fennel. He was the most experienced WoW player in our friends group. He laughed before telling me I should tell Volden that my macros weren't working and I'm fixing them as we go. So I told Volden that my macros aren't working. Volden says, oh, okay, just checking. We were just a little confused. When we got to Anubra Khan, genius plan by Fennel. He tells me I should log off. This will make Volden think that I was sorting out my macros. Why? You do it in game? Why would that be the case? why am I being offline help with macros? After doing this, Fennel, not realizing beforehand when explaining to me how to tank, said that I should throw in a few heroic strikes and thunderclaps during my rotation. Just as we were about to pull, I got a whisper from the main tank. He said all I needed to do was focus on tanking ads while he dealt with the boss. I acknowledged it and the countdown began. For every second that passed, my penis gained girth. The blood flowed. 5, 4, 3, 2. Boom. This is my moment. As soon as the other tank pulled the boss, I sidestepped it like a beast before dump tackling my designated crypt guard to the ground. Not wanting to fuck up and die, as soon as I charged into the crypt guard, I instantly popped all defensive cooldowns. I clicked shield block, shield wall, last stand. I pressed them all, one after the other. After they had all dropped, I spammed taunt and thunderclap for dear life until that ad died. After the first set of ads had died and with the boss only being up, I decided it would be best that I stood on the spawn point to wait for the next ad, knowing my role in this raid. I thought this would help the raid greatly, since it would reduce the chance of that ad maybe hunting down one of my new friends and cutting them. So with my back against the boss, and for the sake of the raid's survival, I stood at that spawn point. After what felt like an eternity of me doing absolutely nothing and just watching my friends kill the boss on the screens, the ad finally spawned. I sprung into action. Shortly after, though, we wiped. At first, I thought that I was safe. I'd done my job. I hadn't caused this wipe. I taunted those ads for the rest of my raid team. I was mistaken, however, and soon received a message from Volden. He didn't shout. He didn't curse me. He told me I should stay on the boss when the ads aren't up, so that I don't get targeted by the Impale and have it hit the entire raid. Owning up to this mistake. Oh, sorry, bro. I don't, I asked Fennel what I should say, and he says, usually you main tank, so you're not sure about the ads. So I said, okay. Pull number 2. We went at it again, and just like before, I did my job. I prevented that crypt guard from slapping up the rest of the team. And after they died as requested, I stayed on the boss in order to produce some fat DPS. I stayed there until finally my DBM went off to inform me that an ad was about to spawn. Hearing that siren, I keyboard turned my character around and began dashing in the direction of the spawn point. Timing it like a champ I was in range to use heroic throw on the ad as it spawned before getting up in his face and taunting him like a hero. Shortly after, though, my rock-solid tank rotation began to fail me. The ad started saying immune every time I pressed taunt. The ad was running wild, killing DPSs in the raid. I frantically tried pressing every button that was lighting up in desperation before watching helplessly as the ad continued slapping everyone to the grave until it was just finally me and we wiped. Oh my god, I've gone all weird. Hold on. And it'll be fine. We're nearly finished. At this point, I could tell the group was getting pissed off at me. I was worried that I was on the verge of being kicked from the raid. My friends kept asking me what the fuck was happening, and I explained that taunt stopped working. It started saying immune, hoping that they would have an answer to my problem. They looked at me puzzled and confused. I told them how I was clicking the exact abilities they told me I should use, taunt and thunderclap. This was followed up with Volder messaging me. Our main tank's asking, have you ever tanked something before? I didn't want to sound like a noob. That would reveal that I had already lied to them and I didn't want to get kicked. Yeah, loads of times, mate. Loads of times. Tell you what it was, that try, though. Tell you what it was, though, bro. There's my tank swap macro. It's just, like, I don't know what it is, mate, but, like, the macros just ain't working, you know what I mean? And I'm used to them. Let me just relog a sec, sort my macro out, and then it'll be alright, though. Then it'll be fine. That'll be fine. I tried to log out to make my lies sound more truthful, when in reality I was trying to buy some time. But just as I was about to Google how to tank as a warrior, Reno told me to stop and listen. He told me not to worry about it since he had devised a solution for the tanking problem. I was thrilled. I listened with great intent as Reno informed me that I could trick the game and create a second taunt ability by making a character-specific macro. Looking back at this, he was just trolling me as hard as he possibly could. But at the same time, I didn't think that Reno was capable of trolling. I followed along as he explained to me how to set up the macro. He told me in order to trick the system and suddenly have an extra ability appear on my bar, I would have to make sure the macro is character specific or it won't work. Make sure the macro is called taunt and that its icon matches the taunt ability. And insert this code that he had written. /use taunt target 1 to the macro. And that would give me 2 taunts. Having no time to think how incredibly stupid what he was saying sounded as a gullible Englishman, I followed along and created it just in time before our next pull. The attempt started off swimmingly with no fuck-ups. I tanked my first ad like a boss and produced higher, more DPS to a Nubra Khan during the downtime. A short moment later, the Crypt Guard joined the battlefield, and with it being my moment to finally show the world, I instantly taunted the ad and was able to keep aggro on it briefly as I spammed the crap out of Thunderclap. Suddenly, I had no more rage and was beginning to lose aggro. He started to become immune to taunt once more. With the ad now making a mad dash for our range, it was time to utilize my taunt number 2 ability. Now there's one more thing I need to tell you about my macro. While creating it, I asked Reno if he could add a yell message to the macro, to which he said I could. I wanted to do this since I told myself, if I'm going to add a second taunt for my warrior, I want to let off a powerful message. A message so that my raid knows that I am doing my best to save them. Therefore, me being the cool 13-year-old swaglord I was, did just that. For the remainder of the fight, every time I used my tank macro, this message would appear. Billy J yells, Locktar on D's nuts, bitch. 4! You're probably thinking it can't get any worse than this, but it does. This was down to how I would spam my taunt macro profusely until I regained aggro. And since we were getting further into the fight since I had begun to use the macro, I decided that my macro taunt was better than my normal taunt because it had code in it. And so I ended up only using macro taunt, along with Thunderclap of course, for the remainder of the fight, which we did kill. My actions had completely pissed off every single person in the raid. They were tired of my gameplay, tired of the fact that I was spamming yell macros for the entirety of the fight, I could only imagine what that guild was saying in TeamSpeak during that pull. I was in TS server with them during the raid, but I had muted it. It was too much. I didn't want to listen to them or have them disturbed while I was so focused on being the best tank I could be. Because of this, once the loot was given out, I was removed from the raid. Puzzled as to why I was kicked, I messaged Volden, who informed me that the person I was covering for had mysteriously logged on, which meant I needed to step out for him. Of course, after the raid, I found out this was a lie, and instead, one of the other members had just respected the tank. At the time, my friends were just as confused as I was with regards as to why I was removed. I specifically remember Reno saying, "Why would they kick you? Your macro worked a treat. We killed the boss." But being unaware of the real reason, I thanked him for letting me be in that raid and gave me best wishes. For the rest of the night, Volden responded with, "Cheers, mate, for being so understanding. I'll make sure to keep you in the loop if a raid spot ever pops up in the future." This would be the last time Volden spoke to me. I was never invited to another raid with the guild again. I didn't think much about it though, since after spending some time playing at max level on my warrior, I decided I didn't like tanking. I would therefore go on to create a new character. That would be my main for the remainder of the Lich King. The end. We are 30 minutes over time on that epic tale. But we thank you. We thank you. And also, your friends suck. But I now realise something important. They were only 13 and they genuinely didn't know any better. They genuinely didn't know any better. Sure, there was some trolling in there, but I think, for real, they actually thought they were being good guys. They knew. They knew. They knew. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm well past time to go and have dinner with my kids. I don't know when I'll be back in front of your faces. It might be tomorrow morning. It may be this evening, depending on what time I actually get done with everything. But I want to thank you all for a tremendous week. We've achieved monumental things this week. I actually really enjoyed that we got back to doing drama time. I will either be back with you this evening or tomorrow morning. Lock tar on these nuts, bitches. Good evening. Be good. Hello, ballers and a bro fist to you all. Welcome once again to what is apparently Friday. It is apparently Friday. I had no idea until the stream told me mid-afternoon that it was in fact Friday. Time is but a doorway. I'll be back. I had no idea, so this has been rushed together. Look, man, you can see the scratch. I'm all cut up. My unit from Poland has arrived. The Polish unit has arrived to complete the setup. I'm looking forward. I'm going to film a Patreon video later showing the final setup of everything. But I'm all gashed up. I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding. Not just because we've been in Torghast today. We've been in Torghast, and what a place it is. What a place it is. So good. We bugged out on Heroic, man, just as we were getting the big run going. We had permanent uptime on our dots. We were doing massive stuff. God damn, man. It was going so big. It was getting hard. The snowball was happening, but we're going to try again tomorrow. So, Saturday, big Heroic Torghast on the Warrior. Should be sick. We're going to go Prot Warrior. It was super fun playing Prot Warrior in there. We could spell reflecting, interrupting, doing all that good shit, the big stuns, dealing with that Heroic dungeon. So, it should be fun. We're going to the big level 72. Shadowlands is upon us. My new PC is built, for those who've been waiting. We built it. We did a live stream where we built the PC, actually, and I can confirm, as I told people earlier today, with a 3900X, a 2080 Ti, 64 gigs of Dominator Platinum memory at 3600 speed. The first gaming experience I had was Il'gynoth reprogress in the alt raid. The nightmarish scenario when my Discord went off saying, "Need you for the alt raid, Mike." I'm like, "I'm on my way, dudes, no problem." Logged in, it was face to face with Il'gynoth. Oh my god. Oh my god. So let's kick back, let's relax, and let's have some fun. Thank you, Mr. Tips. I see that there before we jump into this. Now, look, don't panic, all right? Don't panic. All right, it's a scary title. It's a scary title. I know. Don't be afraid, though. Don't be afraid. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fried. It's gonna panic. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I will tell you, although we are gonna use names, of course, from our Patreon, that they've named everybody after various. I assume it says friends. Now, look, this is a bit of a rush drama time. I haven't had a proper chance to have a skim through these stories, so who knows? It could get real weird. But they've named them all after politicians. Angela Merkel's in here. Bernie Sanders is in here. Whether that is a reflection on the characters in the story, I don't know. I don't know. But that is how it's going to be. So we need a political guild name. Can I trust you guys with this? All right, let's have Sarah. Let's have Bonzi. Welcome aboard, Bonzi. Congress. Congress sounds good. Bonzi. Hippo. And Tywin. Perfect. I will choose Tywin for this. Tywin, welcome aboard. And our guild name will be Congress. All right, Congress. Perfect. Let us have some fun. I hope you guys are relaxed wherever you are, and I hope you're taking care of yourselves. Let's enjoy some nice, relaxing drama. Hi, Mike, a long-time fan, the cheering kind. Oh, it's a Bitmaster and a subscriber. Ooh, thank you very much for the support, my friend. I would apologize for my poor grammar, but that would force me to mention the fact that I speak 3 other... Oh, hang on a minute. Already a boaster. We got a boaster. I speak 3 other very complicated languages, which you might consider bragging. I already consider it bragging. Quarantine has bored the ever-living wad out of me, so I typed up this little story that happened to me. The game, of course, is World of Warcraft. The time, as you might guess, is Warlords of Draenor. An expansion that, where a person would look like WoW, would look at WoW like a 7-year-old sadist would look at a dog. I get it. I get it. Thank you. Before starting his unnecessary drawn-out 2 years of cruel abuse and play sessions, which ended with... Why is this all about dogs? With the dog cramped in a narrow space derived of all his senses. Roughly the Garrison experience. It's better than BFA, though. So, I mean, there's that. Which you're just leaving out, right? Everybody's still memeing on WoD. That has to change now. You guys understand that, right? That has to change. That has to change. WoD can no longer be the punching bag. WoD cannot be the punching bag. But alas, just like said Dog, most WoW players tend to forgive full morons who have a desperate need for arse they never get. I am a 24-year-old male who, in fact... What is this about dogs? Who, in fact, does not own a dog. All right. Let me tell you a couple of things that I do own. Okay, all right, we're going to get a picture of our author. You ready? Clear your mind's eye, ladies and gentlemen. 1. A love for strategy games. I'm addicted to the feeling of building a well-oiled machine to feed an endless supply of meat for the grinder and blood for the blood god and bear for the peasants or missions for the garrison. I do, however, try to refrain from playing games in real life, partly because I suck at them, and partly because it tends to drive people away when I go into batshit crazy planning mode. So you play Sandbox Command & Conquer Generals, is what you do. Or Settlers, perhaps. Maybe some Settlers, or Age of Empires. 2. A history with World of Warcraft, starting from the vague memories of running an Orc Hunter through the Barrens equipped with dual-wielding axes. 3. A love for reading, which stems from my deafness during childhood. You were deaf during your childhood. So, you know, not that many options. Interesting. How's your hearing now? I'm generally curious. I would like a conversation with you. It goes 1, 2, 3, 5. 3 languages, eh? Do they know how to count in those 3 languages? Do they? No 4 in the languages you speak? Just checking. Just checking. I'm a sarcastic person who works as a technical designer. I'm not that bright and quite possibly can't count. You memed me. I am also cursed with a tongue that can't quit and happens to be quite smooth. Oh, slimy. Slimy. Boo. 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 All right. As I was staring out of my... This is so epic. As I was staring out of my window, watching the dark night sky, silver bullets spread amongst its canvas, taking a slow drag of my cigarette. What is this, a noir? Watching my cold breath mingle with the smoke in an upward dance before dissipating into the night, much like my cat when it ran away. That's when I realized I'm really lonely. Oh, he's doing this whole noir thing, and he's like, "What am I doing? What am I doing?" Okay. Being an average-looking fella, I did have a couple of relations, literally 2 in my whole life, most of which are the result of a girl walking up to a completely disinterested guy who needed several minutes before realizing his rudeness. So there I went, drinking with the boys, dating apps, and all right, the order of finding a girl. All right, this is the order we're going in. This is the plan. First, we're going drinking with the lads. Unsuccessful. Then we're turning to dating apps. Unsuccessful. And then it clicked. The ultimate source of poon. World of Warcraft. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. At this point, I was just hoping for anything. Any kind of new, interesting interaction. And like a man in desperate need, I went looking for a cesspool. He hunted the cesspool down. I found a lovely little social guild with women in it. A very open policy and a general lack of skill. It was so abhorrent it would destroy a virgin's erection in a Las Vegas strip club. Unlikely. Not that I was looking for skills, but really, is key binding just that difficult? Apparently it is. Just going to throw it out there. Apparently it is. A good excuse in one hand and a fairly geared druid in the other, I was ready to slay this demon named Making Friends. Oh, you're making me feel sad for you, but I'm still going to mock you, because that's my job. But, oh. Having spent roughly a week in the guild, I started to get some interaction with the core group. Oh, we have the GM, Sarah. A very sweet GM. A tad naive. Sarah's philosophy on guilds. Now, if this doesn't make you guys want to find this guild and join, nothing will. Sarah didn't believe in certain things, like officers, a guild bank, guild progress, or any structure that would require interaction with others. Bonzi was only in the guild for Sarah, and was strangely competitive for the type of guild it was. Hippo didn't give a shit about anything. And Tywin was probably the smartest of the group, and a full-on extreme role player. Bruh. We're going there. We're going there. Generally surprised with the lack of, well, anything really happening in this guild, I decided to get something going. I decided to get something going. Get something going. So we've got an unskilled guild, no structure, no plan, no direction. What's the best way to organize this herd of cats? You guessed it, mount runs. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I hit up Sarah. Let's do a couple of mount runs. She accepted my offer since some of the old raids were still challenging to her. After seeing her play, I was surprised she got through the login screen. And an urge built. A deep, boiling urge. She must get better. I felt like I was watching a turtle upside down when she played WoW. I took pity. I told her, why don't we do some practicing what I described as advanced strategies? Because I was being kind, and I told her she definitely had the basics down. But we should try some of the advanced things on the training dummies in the garrison. I started teaching her these advanced things, like key binding, moving her character, what spells she had, as it turned out she didn't have them all on the bar, how to stack up combo points. Oh, she's a rogue. It honestly proved to be one of the most enjoyable things I've done in a long time when she realized that 5 combo points made her hit harder. I think my brain just came out of my ear. I feel a bit sick. It's good knowledge to have, though, for a rogue. It's good knowledge. It's good knowledge. Read your tooltips, people. She was chill, though. She was happy. She was a happy... Oh, she could be a druid. Yeah. Could be a druid. Did it mention the class? Could be a druid. Anyway. Oh, God. Feral druid? Oh, yikers. She was a chill and happy person. In general, much more relaxed than I was and lent more towards innocent and cheerful jokes, while only ever so slightly chastising me for my... And it's written this way. Mature humour. Our training sessions and runs became regular things. We threw in some LFR when she felt she was ready. Oh, she never... Not going LFR. Hard. Alright? I'm not ready for that. That's the big game. Yeah? I'm not ready for the big dance. Alright? Gonna stick it out here. Relax. One day I'll head up to LFR, but not today. But I admit, I enjoyed her company very much. As did she, I suppose. Now, Hippo. Oh, he's talking to Hippo here. Hippo, where did we go wrong? Well, I'll tell you where, Mr. Hippo. After a couple of weeks, the guild started to notice Sarah and me spending a lot of time together. We would do a run every other night or so for practice sessions on Saturdays, since she had work on Friday night. One thing to note is that Sarah was aware of her suboptimal gameplay. I had gently pointed it out, but it turned out she did have a damage meter installed. Oh, she knows, but she doesn't know why. Number no go burr. I hit thing, but number no go burr. Number small. His number big. And she partly agreed to the training just to shut me up. It didn't work. Only asking that I didn't tell the others in the guild that she needed help because she was the GM. She's embarrassed as well. Dude, I feel sorry for her. Send her my way. Come on. Come on. Come on. All right, we're going to start real basic. This is a keyboard. All right? Step 1. You can make buttons do spells. All right? Step 1. Slow down. Sorry. Sorry. I found it amusing, but insisted that we should make up a cover story since it's pretty obvious that we're together. And so we would tell anyone who asked what we were doing and why they couldn't join in that Sarah was training me in roleplay. Since I quote, she said I was absolutely the worst. What's better, that you're learning to play your character in a video game or that you're training roleplay? One night while I was running some low, Mythic Plus, it's WOD, we only had Mythic then I think, I started getting whispers from Hippo. Now I usually only receive things like, you suck mate, or nice healing, another one. So to receive anything else in my dungeon threw me off a bit. Hippo stated that he'd been trying to keep track of me and Sarah, and he'd tried to follow us in the world. He said he was getting stuck because the garrison wouldn't let him zone into the one we were in. So could I secretly invite him to the group so he could get in? What is this guild, right? This sounds like actual Congress. This sounds like actual Congress. Not. I didn't even bother to explain the flaw in his plan. I just told him our weak cover story. Yeah, to throw him a bone, I told him I could probably get him invited for a run if he'd like. And if he was so inclined, I would even consider not being there myself, provided I got the covering fee for lost loot. It would only be fair after all. Hippo was over the moon and was more than willing... A cover fee? Hippo was over the moon and more than willing to offer his support for the following plans I laid out to him. We're going to add structure. We're going to make an officer group. We're going to make different categories and divide these off into different groups with one officer with the leadership role over each group. And we're going to make regular guild meetings so we can make plans, guild events, and runs, etc., etc. Do people still have guild meetings? You just do it before the raid. Sarah would probably not like the idea of structuring her guild, so I warmed Hippo up a bit more by offering him up for the raid leader position. And I told him, since he was clearly the better player of us two... The rest of the night we played together, and the following day, I talked both Bonzi and Tywin into the plan. Asking Tywin when the next RP session was, since I would really like to tag along sometime, she told me we didn't really plan RP meetings, but I was more than welcome to join her at tonight's. I confessed to her that I wasn't that skilled in RP and was hoping that I could join a guild class on RP first, which of course didn't exist. I guess it would just have to do, and I spent a night RPing with her. Receiving a whisper from Sarah for another run, I explained to her that I was kind of hoping to do some RP, since I'd never done so. Maybe we should find a way to do RP with more people. What do you think? She agreed. That would probably be better. And she started whispering more people to join in their roleplay. Now, some of you might be wondering, why do this? Why talk everybody up to this, and why not just tell Sarah? Well, firstly, for fun. And secondly, I doubt that she would be happy about my plans of screwing everybody out of a bunch of gold. The guild meeting took place the following week. I was promoted to officer and joined everybody for both Discord, in Discord, inside Sarah's garrison. He's going to scam the gold, I think. It went perfectly. Sarah talked about organised RP sessions. I gently chipped in with some more ideas. Tywin would be our official roleplay officer. She could set up the larger roleplay events, classes, and even get others to help her. Hippo would be our official raid leader, setting up plans to first find anybody who was willing to raid. I was offered to be Mythic Dungeon leader, but ever so humbly passed it off. I didn't want such a shitty role. No. Bonzi was going to be head supplier. What a role. Head supplier. His job was to keep track of mats and what was needed. Wow. Prestigious. Hey, lucky Bonzi gets to be head supplier. And Sarah would be the overall leader. She would have final say in all decisions. And me? I said I could function as a go-between because Sarah didn't want the interaction. Something like a co-GM. I had so much experience in leading, definitely real and totally not fake guilds in the past, that it would be good if I was also the guild treasurer, since I had the most experience. And they all agreed. This was to be the plan. This was the way it would go. The first few weeks did not go well. Most guildies didn't give a fuck because they were in a cesspool guild. Guys, we've done it. We've got a structure. We've got officers, a treasurer, a head supplier, roleplay session runner, guild leader, raid leader. Great. Awesome. Good for you, dude. Good for you. Many people were actually annoyed that there was rules and people deciding what they should do in this guild they just whispered to join. And it took a lot of sweet talking to get everybody to face the same direction that our guild was going to be stellar under this new plan. It turned out, though, a lot of these dudes who had taken on these roles never really wanted those roles. I had kind of pushed it on them. They started to become really stressed out with having special titles in the guild. Now that now that Sarah had been put in the forefront of dealing with problems, she got really tired of all the fights that suddenly came her way. She kept complaining that everybody in the guild was now officially being directed to her whenever they had a falling out over loot or something. Hippo could not handle the stress of putting together a raid of people who had never wanted to raid in the first place and couldn't get anything done. And Tywin was in tears. Literal tears in Discord because she'd now organised all these RP events where people were running around like Super Mario. And had never RP'd before and wouldn't listen to her when she tried to explain roleplay to them. Now, our boy Bonzi wasn't doing particularly well. So I took over Bonzi's role as well, claiming that if I was closer involved with everybody, then I could help out more with their issues. I set up prize pools, threw out freebies here and there, and most importantly, created a couple of fun guild events. Our guild PvP run was a blast and started a whole new group. Now, this was costing us time for where we should be playing games. So a system was developed. To divide the cost of people organising all these things, and of course budgeting for things like prize pools and stuff, right? I decided a good plan would be to give each group, the RPers, the Dungeoners, the Raiders, and so on, their own account. Secondly, I made sub-ranks more prominent, and I installed a tax onto each group based on their account. An accountant that only I, as both treasurer and supplier, ever saw. So it might not have been the most complicated plan ever created, and the most work did go into keeping my reputation super clean and justifying the costs involved to these players, but I was quite proud of it, and I decided to have some fun with it. Guilty. Guilty, yeah. People clearly needed a little incentive to pay me. People are bitching. So I came up with an idea. A voting system. The voting system was going to be regular. And the reason for the voting system was to make sure that no one would be in power too long, so it would be fair. If you didn't pay, well, we might need to vote for a leader who does pay then. Well, it turned out that Tywin didn't get why anybody had to pay money to RP. So we kicked her out. And replaced her, surprisingly enough, with Bonzi, who did pay his bills. Now here is where the whole thing went downhill. You see, Tywin, the smart one, the one who can clearly see what's going on, really started to dislike me. Started calling things like manipulative. Said I probably smell weird, and after seeing my picture on the forum, pointed out that I'm only average height. Got him. I agreed that some of these things might be true, but I was not manipulative. I am not manipulative. I assured her that it would be better for her to relieve some stress, and if she really wanted to, she could be treasurer if she wanted. I would be more than happy just sitting back and doing my runs with Sarah and dungeons or whatever. She agreed. I gave her the job of chief supplier, and she happily decided to start asking me for money, which I did not give her. I would go into further details about my upcoming plans and gathering of riches, but I didn't care anymore. I had an absolutely ridiculous amount of gold, and I was bored. The thing basically ran itself, and my WoW sub was about to end. I did some final training sessions with Sarah, and I felt a little guilty, so I poured back about 1 million of the gold back into the bank that I had made over the last few months. I kept most of it in case I ever came back to WoW. I left the guild Discord, and I have to be honest with you, Mike, I have never played WoW again to this day. Why are you still watching my stream? I just know I have an account sat there with several million gold, all from people RPing and believing that they needed to pay a tax for my time in the guild. I am looking forward to Shadowlands, though. It seems like a blast. Well, I think that guilty emote is about to get spammed pretty heavy. Oh, dude, why? You're bullying the guys who've just started the game. Oh, my God. All right. I want to read this one because it says WoW escort. So it's guilty. Yeah, guilty. Guilty. It's a short one, it looks like. This looks like a short one. Like I say, I didn't have time to pre-prepare our stories for today, but let's find out about an escort in World of Warcraft. As I recently did find out, apparently you can now pay girls to be on live streams with you. Seems a bit yikes. Seems a little bit yikes. So, okay. I've not read this one. I don't know where this goes. All right. The WoW escort. Let's go. That's not what politics is, by the way, author. That's not what politics is about, you know. Just saying. And do we need names? Doesn't say so far, so we'll figure it out as we go. We'll figure it out as we go. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to go into politics one day. Looks chill. All right, let's go. Good day, preacher and viewers of Drama Time. I love your show and thought, why not share my story with the world? Greetings from the country that is named after a chicken in English. Named after a chicken. Turkey? Are you saying turkey? Yeah, okay. It's not a chicken. I was like, rooster? Whales? Okay. I don't know. Maybe we'll point it out just through the story. Okay. I haven't read this, so I have no idea where this is taking us. My story begins in the midst of what? We're back to WoD. A lot of shit going down in WoD today. In Warlords of Draenor. It was the first expansion that I played max level content after spending some time leveling all these characters I created. I could even say I started playing in Kata. However, I never made it out of the Ghostlands as a blood elf in my early days. As a new max level hunter, I found a family-friendly, calm raiding guild with my IRL friends, and I started raiding weekly. It was all fun. Since the start of Warlords of Draenor, all I did was PvP! Yeah, mate! Because scripted events is for pussies, and you see what's happening, and you've got a timer, and that makes you gay. That's just fact. That is facts. That is hard knowledge. I found it way more interesting than scripted content, mate. Scripted. Weeks went by. Raids went on, and my little hunter, crashed into a new problem. Gold. I had none. In what? You had no gold in what? Bruh, you done goofed. Are you kidding me? Dude, we're all still living off our WoD gold. Like, to this day. That's like an inheritance. WoD gold? Did you not have a garrison, bro? Honestly. Oh, come on. Come on. Are you joking? It was free gold every day. It was so good. Corruption took all my gold. I have a longboy, though. It was so good. It was so... What do you mean, no? Are you joking? Garrison's just printed money every day. Jesus Christ. Even Blizzard acknowledged it as a problem. The economy was destroyed after WoD. Everyone had so much gold. SMH. As a new max level player, having gold to maintain your character's economy was ridiculously hard for me. In what? Do you even scrap, bro? Do you even scrap? Buying flasks and food for raid nights meant selling some armor sometimes. Oh my god. Oh my god. It felt like I was paying rent or bills. Oh my god. It came to a point where I borrowed money from guildies because they were so confused, I have no doubt, in order to have some gold. I've sold armor in Classic for repairs, for sure. I did that back in the day. I think I sold some Zul'Gurub gear because I just was out of gold completely. I couldn't afford mana potions anymore. I was sick and tired of clearing old raids for hours. Is that how you're making money? You're going to old raids for gold? When you have a garrison just sat there? I hated farming spots and spending time getting gold. But this thirst for in-game currency led me to points that I still regret to this day. Oh no. I was 15. Bear that in mind. I was 15. Stupid shit was funny for me and my friends. We were really the teenage troll that would spread toxicity in your dungeon group. Because you're a noob. That's why. It's not because you're funny or clever. It's because you're shit. Because you can't even make gold in Warlords of Draenor. So you just troll other people in the dungeon by just playing as well as you can. And that's it. We know. You know it. We all know it. We know it. I still, to this day, have no idea how our middle-aged guildies accepted us in their heroic roster. Some of them had children to take care of. And then there were us. He's trying to spread the blame here. It was my mates, peer pressure. We had a running gag back then where my friends, to make fun of what we called losers, you know, the kind that sits at his desk playing WoW and lives in his mother's basement. Why does every mum have a basement? My mum hasn't got a basement. A desk isn't strange to play World of Warcraft. What are you playing on? Sits at his desk like it's an insult. Yeah, I sit at a desk. What? On the floor? I feel like you're all playing on a trampoline or something, or a bouncy house. A bounce house. Yeah, you play a bouncy ball? Yeah, I have a desk that my computer's on. That's not like loser. What a loser with his chair. Look at him. Loser. This stuff was actually hilarious to us, picturing people sat at their desks playing WoW. What are you playing on? I really want to know. I really want to know. It would... Until we started to realize how funny and pathetic it was when some of us started getting our own desk computers. This is actually really good. This is amazing. I got my keyboard is like in front of me. It's fucking sick, actually. No, I tell you, these losers are onto something with this desk idea. Yeah. You can put your computer on it. It doesn't move around. It's fucking sweet. They had laptops. They're literally on laptops. Just sat there on their knees. However, 15-year-old Hunter... Oh, I think this is his character. My 15-year-old Hunter saw an opportunity. These losers have gold. So much gold as if they were swimming in the Donald Duck coin pool. Did you just fucking... Donald Duck? Donald Duck. I hate kids. Skip the story. This kid is trash. That's it. The laptop was enough, but Donald Duck, you're out. You're right. With their endless time on the computer screen, they could obtain whatever they wanted in-game. Still, a Blood Elf in-game model wouldn't match with a real girl talking to them, right? A scammer, a troll, a horrible human being. You can call me many things. My audience will. And they would all be true. I guess you can tell where this story is going, but I guarantee you, this is a guarantee, it is way worse than what you think. Bear in mind, I might have to alter this later. I don't know how weird this is going to get. It didn't take a whole bunch of time to level up a Blood Elf Priest to 32. No, it didn't, did it? During what? 32. Good job. But in the end, I was ready. I went to Orgrimmar, opened trade chat, and spoke those magical words. Oh my god, there's no way this works. New girl to the game, can you help me out with some gold? That's the plan. That's the 15-year-old plan. I'm going to make a level 32 Blood Elf Priest. Go. New girl to the game, can you help me out with some gold? Genius. Genius. At first, I thought this is an innocent effort to beg for gold. I never meant to harm anyone. Oh, no. In any means. And still to this day, I'm not sure if it's against the TOS. You can beg all you want in Orgrimmar for all I think. I don't think it's a problem. I waited a bit after writing in chat for multiple times. No, no replies. But not much time had passed and I started to talk to some people. Believe me, the results were even more great than what I would have expected. My scheme? This is my backstory. I was a new player to WoW. And I needed gold to ride the robot that everybody seemed to have. Sky Golem, I assume. Chat went on with some people. Most whispers were mocking me, telling me I was not a real girl. Yep. Which for some reason I actually got offended by, as I was really trying to pretend to be a girl. But barely 1 in 30 odd people would believe me and give me a gold. Actually getting annoyed. But my night did pick up. 10 gold, 50 gold, 500, 1,000 gold. It was already working in a couple of hours of just talking to people. I made much more in hours than I had in weeks. 1,000 gold. I couldn't believe how efficient this was, and I kept it going for a few days. But greed. Greed, my friends, is a dangerous thing. I wanted more. I felt unstoppable. Not long had passed from "Can you help me with gold?" and it turned into I'm an e-girl. Add me on Discord for gold. I tell you, friends, it works wonders. I started adding people on a Discord profile that I designed with pictures online for 2,000 gold so they could chat with me. Some knew I was not a girl, but still paid because that money was nothing to them and they had fun. Ew. Ew. Oh, no. Occasionally, someone would really believe and stick around like I was the new love of their life. And some just paid for me to shut up in trade chat. All in all, I turned into Smaug. I'd rather die than give a copper of my gold to anyone. My poor hunter was no more. I didn't need gold for some time, thankfully, after that work. And it felt good knowing I have a way to make gold when I run out of it. At least that's what I thought. That little max level hunter became so addicted with gold making and scamming, he stopped playing his max level. Instead, I spent now most of my time playing my little blood elf priest, just talking with people, convincing them I was the girl of their dreams. I was really good at this, to be honest. I made sure I found rare images that wouldn't be found on image search. I wasn't dumb enough to use pictures of supermodels. After some time when I got online, I literally got so into it I felt like I had become a girl IRL. Where is this going? It was disturbing as it is now, and I now understand how bad this was, but please don't judge. Don't judge, you lot. My addiction for cash, it never slowed down, it was never quenched. I always thought, even when I wasn't online, of making my business bigger. I had to hunt the most naughty and the most desperate. So what I would write in trade chat eventually evolved into, now people knew me, nudes for gold, whisper me. I had a variety of options in my catalogue. Full nudes, semi-nudes with underwear, from only face shots to special name writing paper shots, which I edited with the Photoshop. I offered everything. My inner conflict with this became so bad that I always thought, I'm just going to do it one more time. I'm just going to do it one more time, and then I'll stop. I promised myself. But the gold kept coming. Most people knew again that obviously I wasn't a girl, but they enjoyed the conversation. For gold, they were getting to talk to someone online for free. Aww, but I didn't care. You can come and talk to live streamers now. You can. You don't need to pay gold to a 15-year-old boy to tell you dirty things. You don't need that. You don't. Just log on to Twitch. You'll be alright. You'll be alright. You'll be alright. By the way, hit that Twitch Prime. Smash that Twitch Prime button. Easy. Easy. I didn't care. My treasure hoard was growing, and soon I would have so much gold. I would never need it again. It was a rough ride. Oh, was it? It was a rough ride. Being this fake person online started to weigh on me mentally. It was exhausting. But I kept going. What a trooper. What a real trooper. Hey, good on you, lad. Until one day, one of my conversations with a Slovenian boy turned into a relationship. Over the year or so, I had taken hundreds of thousands of gold from him. And I actually stopped typing in chat because I afraid he would see it and keep spamming me. He made sure that I was never forced to sell my nudes again for gold. And he would always be my supplier. Oh no. S-I-M-P. What a hero, he thought himself. It took me a while to realise that I was pretty sure this little goblin warrior... Alright, who's being the hero? It's late in the story. It's late in the story. Who's doing it? Who's being the simp? Come on now. Someone take it. Someone's got to take it. Hamish, you're up. You're up. Hamish is our simp of the day. Can we salute this man? Can we salute this man for his dedication? Hamish! You're going in. I don't know where this ends for you, Hamish. I really don't. I genuinely 100% don't. But we salute your sacrifice. It took me a while to realise that Hamish was genuinely in love with me. One day, I was just playing The Witcher, chilling on my own, and I had left Discord open on accident. Of course, Hamish saw I was online. Didn't hesitate to just go, hi. I need a better voice for Hamish. Hi, blushes. I had to respond to him because I was afraid that he'd stop giving me gold. Oh my god. We chatted back and forth for hours that day, which annoyed me because I didn't get much done in The Witcher. I was feeling sick to my stomach talking to the dude as a girl. But before I fell asleep, I had one thing on my mind. This is it. Tomorrow, I'm blocking Hamish. I'm cancelling my subscription. I'm going to move my gold and be free. I woke up to a Saturday morning, had breakfast, hopped in a quick shower, opened up my PC. Message from Hamish. Sweating profusely. I couldn't stop thinking about you. Smiley face. Ooh, ooh. Oh no! With an attached image. Oh, Hamish is... on an image of a fake photo I had sent that he had printed out. Oh, Hamish. What did you do? What did you do? What did you do, son? Alright? Come on now. Come on now. I just turned off my computer. Nope. Nah, not dealing with that today. That's a no. I was disturbed by the image I just saw. I don't know what to do. It took me about an hour or so to get myself on, and I just blocked Hamish straight away. Oh! As I had promised myself, though. I had promised myself I cancelled my subscription. Oh, is that the end? I came back to the game only now in patch 8.3. I want to share this story with your audience, so maybe I can say this. I'm so sorry, Hamish. I feel terrible for what I did. We're not sorry. I've been cooked. You did. Not sorry. Oh, not sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Hamish. Oh, Hamish was just looking for love. And looking for... How long have we got left? 10 minutes? All right, let me read some titles. Oh, let's do this. This looks about right. The Northrend Stag Weekend. Okay, we're doing the Northrend Stag Weekend. I know, yeah. This looks good. It looks like it's an appropriate size for a 10-minute. Let's go for it. All right. I need Microsoft Word. Because it's in an email format, and that's hard to read. Okay. The Northrend Stag Weekend. Where would you go? You're taking me on a stag weekend, friends. It's a Northrend. Where's the party? Take me through the night, and then we'll see if our story matches up to what you guys would have planned. You're just going to start in Nax? Yeah, it's got to start in Grizzly Hills. You've got to start in Grizzly Hills. Throw some back to the music. I don't think we're going to... what's it called? Gundrak? Gundrak's a bit much. I think you finish. You go for the big finish in Naxxramas. Oh, you've got to go to Koldara. Koldara's best. Sholazar? Sholazar will be good too. Right, who do we need? We need the groom-to-be. Davis. Davis is the groom. The shaman fiance. Who's lady? Hannah. Go with Hannah. PvP warlock, mate. Oh, yeah. Doomtall. Perfect. A hunter and... This is a hunter and Hannah's brother. Okay. Mega Jake. I like it. Mega Jake. And a method level healer. Oh, then we got a Jesse. Oh. Dorskin. Perfect. All right. That's our stag party. That's who's going. All right. Hello, preacher, the fellow passengers on the Shadowlands Express. Choo choo. Josh, who's that? You making up people, mate. Don't make up people, mate. I'm pretty old. Okay. I'm pretty old. That's how we're starting. So I remember when stag parties were very straightforward. You'd load the boys into a taxi, you'd drink 15 beers, eat a ruby, go to a strip club, get in a fight, and sleep it all off in a park. Easy. I'll go for the curry. That was before all my friends became World of Warcraft players. Oh, no. That was back in the real world. Now we're in WoW. Now the boys are spread all over the world. You have to get the few people who live nearby together and have some weird hybrid digital party that's half in your house and half in the South Shore Tavern. It's never really fun. LAN parties are fun. You watch your fucking mouth, yeah? Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. LAN parties are awesome. Occasionally, it can all go wrong. Really, really wrong. So wrong that you destroy forever the most valuable asset a Warcraft player can possess. Okay, let me explain. My best mate Davis was getting married to Hannah. He met her in Wailing Caverns during vanilla. He was a warrior, she was a shaman. It was a whirlwind Wind Fury romance. Hey, fucking Wind Fury. Bringing people together. Yeah? Think about it, Halinka. Put the fucking animation back in the game. Now. Hannah was, and I still assume is, gorgeous. She was only 17 when they met. 10 years younger. 10 years younger than Davis. 27 to 17. Thoughts? Thoughts? They didn't get they met in vanilla. Wait. Let's do the math on this. Let's crunch some numbers. Let's do the math on this. No. 17 is, well, it's legal in the UK. I'm not sure what country they're in. Legal in the UK anyway. But they didn't, they're not getting married until Wrath of the Lich King. Or maybe even modern day. I don't know. They went to Northrend, so at least after Wrath of the Lich King. Which means he's got to be like 30 something and she's got to be 20 something. 10-year gap. I never understood what she saw in him. Neither did her parents, I bet. I bet her parents didn't see it. But the love was real. And everyone got on board eventually. I bet the parents didn't see it, did they? Everyone on the guest list. Oh, okay, sorry. The wedding was scheduled for Christmas 2008. So it was only 3 years later. 30 and a 20-year-old. Yeah, because it would have been 2004, 2005 when they met. And they're getting married at Christmas 2008. As the best man, it was up to me to organise the stag party. They gave me a specific weekend in November and a guest list. Everyone on the guest list was a player from our guild. It was mercifully short. There was me, Davis, Hannah's brother Mega Jake, who played a hunter, a hardcore PvP warlock called Doomtol, and Dorskin, a talented healer. Better still, everyone lived in the same city. I said about organising the standard party. Booze ordered. French food. And something cool our city did called Sexy Laser Tag, where strippers would play with you. Bruh. At the all-night arcade on the edge of town. Sick! That sounds awesome. That sounds... Although, as gamers, we're going to get hyper-competitive. Let's assume they're topless at best, right? That's going to wear off real quick because we've got that gamer instinct. And then we're going to start taking it real serious, right? Like, real serious. Like, no jokes. My score matters way more, and I'm just going to start taking it. Easy targets. Yeah. Easy targets. Capture the flag. We can shoulder barging through the whole business. It's going to be sick. Really into it. I texted out the invitations one by one, and all the guests replied, "Sorry, can't make it." Even the fiance's, even the fiance's brother? Yikes. Big yikes. What the hell? I was confused. Why wouldn't anyone want to go to the stag party? I got my answer when I called Doomtol. Dude, it's the same day Wrath of the Lich King launches. Oh, that is a pickle. Oh. It's not the wedding, it's the stag party. He's booked the stag party for the launch date of Wrath. What a dick. Yeah, I mean, it's just reschedule the stag party. Can't reschedule Wrath. We can reschedule the stag party. Use your brain, dickhead. Use your brain. Of course, how could I have forgotten? Our guild had crushed the Burning Crusade. We were champions of the Naru, Hands of Adal. We had have defeated Illadiggle, server first, and we had made it all the way to Muru in the Sunwell. We planned to hit the new Wrath of the Lich King expansion hardcore. I was about to call Davis and reschedule the stag party when I had a brainwave. I looked again at the guest list. Davis, warrior. I am a rogue. We had a hunter, a warlock, and of course, we had a healer. That, my friends, is a dungeon group. Forget sexy laser tag. We're gonna... You're just having a LAN party for the launch of Wrath, aren't you? That's the stag party. Look, I like Wrath as much as the next guy. I'm definitely going to be there at launch. We're still going to sexy laser tag, alright? Like, no, we're not forgetting. Jack, are you with me? We're going to sexy laser tag. Like, that's still happening. Right, Jack's with me. Jack's with me. Yeah, why not both? Like, what the hell is this? Like, why not both? The big weekend arrived. I had rented a house on the beach for the occasion. Crisp, like that. With 5 bedrooms, a big living room, and we had solid internet. I stocked the kitchen with chips and drinks and lined up the takeaway menus. I put plastic picnic rugs over the couches. Don't know about that. The boys arrived on Thursday evening. They were your standard jumble of nerds in their 20s. They set up their PCs on trestle tables. That sounds dangerous. We compared machines. Best you don't invite me. You know what I mean? How much RGB you got in yours, mate? How much RGB have you got? You haven't even got an R, a GB. Fucking useless, you, mate. Fucking useless. Garbage. We compared our machines like bodybuilders comparing triceps. We were sick with excitement. 3 solid days we had of nothing but leveling together in those brand new zones. Yeah, RTX on. Never even heard of it, have you? It's easy to forget the first couple of WoW expansions came on physical discs. Did Wrath? Did it? I think it did. I did own physical copies of Wrath. Yeah, that's true. You just needed the code though, right? You could download it. We had to pick up the, yeah, it did. I've shown this about a year ago, but it's been put in storage since. But I have a box that has 12 copies of, like, classic WoW, about 8 copies of Burning Crusade, and about 8 copies of Wrath of the Lich King. Because I had to buy it for all our American players. So I had to buy everybody's copies of the game and send them the codes. We had to pick up our pre-orders at midnight at the local game store, but there was time to get a drink. I'm not a hoarder, but I kept them. In case they ever wanted them. In case they ever wanted their proper copy. No one ever did. As the best man, all drinks are on me. That's not how that works at all. Like, don't do that to your best man. Your best man does not buy all the beer. That's not how that works. Like, at all, in any way. Don't do that. I asked what everyone wanted. Beer for me. Beer for Davis. Red wine. Oh, for Dorskin. Pear cider for Mega Jake. We have to change his name. I paused when we got to Doomtall. Oh, Doomtall, as we all knew, was a recovering alcoholic, and he hadn't touched a drop in 5 years. Oh, no. Where did this story go? Oh, no. So when he said, I'll have a vodka cran, we all replied, really? He says, yeah. He says, okay. We might need to abort here. I don't know where this goes. Speed read. Okay, I think we're okay. Kind of. We we do have to go to Red Alert. That is true. We are going to Red Alert. We are going to Red Alert. This is why I can't do this anymore. I have to stop. We're not making fun of an ex-alcoholic losing his way. We're not doing that. My moral compass says no. We're stopping there. It does not end well. It does not end well. Yeah, not doing that. Why? Because it's really immoral. I'm sorry. I don't know. That's the risk when we do off-the-cuff drama stories. That's the risk, man. That is the risk. That is the risk. Cancel Red Alert. Cancel Red Alert. Take me out. No. We're here. Oof. Yeah, we can't. I'm not making. We're not having poking fun at somebody who's a recovering alcoholic who fell off the wagon. No, thank you. No, thank you. I've dealt with enough alcoholics in my life to know it's not a good thing. Drama time is fun time. It certainly is. It certainly is. It certainly is. So unfortunate that happened, but that is how it goes with the off-the-cuff drama. I will pay attention going forward to make sure that I know that it is Friday, which is the only reason we did the off-the-cuff, because I didn't know it was Friday. Either or, that does bring us to the end of the show. That does bring us to the end of the show for today. But not here tonight, but we are here tomorrow morning. We will be having a stream tomorrow. Let me have a little lie-in, so about 10-ish, something like that, where we will be doing Torghast, Warrior, Heroic. We're going all the way. Should be sick. If you can't even what a look of it looked like this morning, it was awesome. It was so good. So we will be streaming tomorrow and doing all those things. I just want to say thank you to all who are here. I apologize we couldn't finish the final story, but hopefully you understand why. Warrior was super fun. Prot Warrior looked insane. And I really want to mess around with it. I really do want to mess around with it. So until then, if you can bear to be off stream for just a few hours until we're back then. Have a great weekend. I know we're probably all still trapped indoors, but do your best. I will be good. All right? I will see you later. Bye, everybody.